Hi, this is Dan from Inclusion Space. Today I just wanted to talk about people first language, or using person first language, which basically means putting a person before their disability, focusing on the whole person rather than just the part of the disabled part. And whereas in the case of using the language, like for example, saying somebody um, has somebody's autistic, you would say a person with autism, um, uh, or he has autism, or um, but you wouldn't say he's autistic. That would be putting the disability before the person. Same with cognitive disabilities or developmental cognitive disabilities. You could say a person is this is a person with a cognitive disability, or he has a developmental disability, and you wouldn't say so and so is developmentally. You wouldn't say this is a developmentally delayed person, which puts or you certainly wouldn't say so and so is retarded. You would say so and so is a person with a developmental disability. It puts the person first. That's why they call it person first. It's a person with a disability. The word person actually literally comes before the word disability. Um, and there's all sorts of examples, and there's some resources available on the internet, um, um, that have different examples of person first language in various situations. Um, Here, I found one from let's see, Kathy Snow. You can visit her website, disabilityisnatural.com. I'll put a link to it in the descriptor of this video. But she has lots of good examples, free PDF online. Um, you could say, um, rather than, for one of her examples is, rather than using the term so and so is brain damaged, you would say this is a person with a brain injury. Um, a person. So you basically, the point is, put the word person before the disability, and then find a respectful way of communicating the whatever the disability is. I've even heard people changing the word disability to difference, or differently abled. I've heard that. So there's kind of like various conversation on political correctness and how to use the language. But the important thing is getting, again, it's just putting the whole person before the one part of them, which is their disability. Um, and another point that I see that from Kathy Snow's article is uh, putting, for example, a lot of the time we say so and so is in special ed, but the way to or even worse, so and so is special ed. That minimizes the fact that there's a whole person there. And what you'd say instead would be, this is a person who receives special education services. Similarly to, excuse me, similarly to um, if they're in a wheelchair, so and so uses a wheelchair, rather than saying, "Oh, he's a wheelchair kid," something like that. You see the difference? The way you phrase something is kind of critical to it shows the amount of respect and understanding you have for that person as a whole person versus just a part of a person, particularly the part that's considered disabled. um, and um, like, for any disability, the same applies, whether it's a learning disability, autism, or communication disability, a congenital disability, a developmental disability. any kind of physical um, disability, brain disability, uh, anything that you can think of, hearing, vision. What am I forgetting? It all comes into play when you're talking about using person first language. Also, it's important to get rid of the outdated words that people still use or use without thinking about it. But words like mental retardation or mentally retarded can be replaced with cognitive disability. Rather than saying he's Downs or I work with Downs kids, you would say he has or she has Down syndrome, or I'm a teacher who works with children who have Down syndrome, the person first language. So that's the video for the day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.